Hunter, you wandering, buddy? Hunter's wandering. He's fine. Come here, you. Right, whatever. He just picked Scotty over me. I'm not insulted. Okay, I'm gonna complain about some stuff today. This is an important one for me. They're all important. I mean, equal opportunity importantist. I made up my own word. Okay, today I want to talk about the myth, the taboo, what do we want to call this, Scotty? The misunderstanding. No, that sounds too. What's like a hot word? The word. All right, we're just gonna talk about dogs on furniture. I know it feels weird because, like, it's only me here, and everyone I think is probably like, who's we? It's me and the 7 voices in my head. Don't worry about it. She's a Gemini.
There's 3 of us in here.
But there's actually 3 of us in here. Yeah, it's me, Scotty, who you can't see. He's like, right. He's like, you guys are here. He's like, right here. Say, follow my eyes. There. And then Hunter is on Scotty's lap. But I've digressed. God, I really need a coffee. Okay, so we're going to talk about dogs on furniture. This is a real story. First, I'm going to share a story because I love sharing stories. So I had some, they wanted to do some training with their Frenchie. I knew already it wasn't going to go through because the client had just spent $10,000 on a board and train, and their dog is averse to the crate now, and they told me what was going on at the board and train. Their tiny Frenchie's in a shock collar, and I was like, well, I disagree with everything that your trainer just did. And he was a hard pill to swallow because they had just spent 10 grand and nobody wants to hear that they wasted their money. But this woman, literally, I spent a long time on the phone with her, like an hour, and she was crying during parts of it and felt really frustrated. And I think that her partner had really kind of wanted to go this direction, and this particular client did not want to go in that direction, but the dog ended up at this board and train. And one of the things she told me that literally blew my mind was that they had been turned down by several facilities for board and train because their dog slept in the bed, and they had been told by like several trainers, I'm going to use that word lightly, dog professionals, that they literally wouldn't train this Frenchie because it slept in the bed. And like, how dare they? And like, of course the dog is a piece of shit because you ruined it by having it sleep in your bed. Just the absurdity of it all. But I know that this isn't the first person that's been told that, and like, this is a common through line in some of these conversations that are happening with these, so-called balanced trainers. And somehow in the balance of everything, there's lots of air quotes today, you guys, there's the weird power dynamic, I guess. It's a power struggle between humans and their French bulldogs. Oh, I'm just thinking about those memes. Scotty, have you seen those where that's like the reels, and they'll be like, there's a couple of my R positive people that I follow make them, and they're like, you shouldn't let your dog dominate you because then it leads to, it's like, first they're going to start sleeping on your couch, and then they're going to expect you to pick up their poop, and then pretty soon they're going to be after world domination, and they're like evil geniuses. But anyways, I've digressed again. Yeah, I just think that in this idea of like dominance, like the alpha dominant theory, which once again has been disproven by the scientist who first presented it to the scientific community over 30 years ago, and has spent the last 30 years of his career trying to debunk the theory that he introduced while telling everybody, I made a mistake and it's wrong and alpha dominance theory doesn't exist, but yet still we cling to it. There's a great New Yorker article about it. I can link to it in the link in my bio. I've linked to it before. I'll link to it again. But yes, the actual guy who was like, wolves are pack animals who operate with dominant and alpha and beta wolves. And that's how dogs, like he literally like shortly afterwards was like, just kidding, you guys. It's only wolves in captivity. That's actually not natural. But no one believed him because we really clung to this like alpha dominance theories. We like the idea of an alpha. Helps us feel superior as human beings over all the critters of the land. Because why be cooperative with the other creatures we cohabitate with on this planet? We should dominate them. So let's talk about dogs on furniture. Letting your dog on the bed, letting your dog on the couch. Does that throw a wrench into your power dynamic? I mean, given everything that I've just said, what do you think? Honestly, though, like, tell me in the comments, like, what do you guys think? Like, do you buy this? Like, are you totally like I don't let my dogs on the couch or in the bed because they then think they're the boss of me? I don't know. I can't get my mind around it. Here's what I will say, though. There are certain instances where I don't think it's appropriate to have animals. Scotty just threw his phone. Pardon the interruption. There are definitely instances where having animals on furniture could be detrimental. But we're talking like there's aggression or resource guarding going on, or there's something contentious happening or dangerous happening, like with children or something like that. Okay, then we reevaluate the boundary of sharing furniture and sharing beds. But in general, it's not really doing anything. It's not teaching your dog to dominate you. My favorite is when like people think they have control, more air quotes. Scotty, so many air quotes. Control over their animals. And they're like, oh yeah, Zeus isn't allowed on the couch. And then like literally you leave the house and like I feel like it's like cartoon music, like do 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 do, and Zeus is like on the couch the minute you like walk out the door, and he's like throwing it. Did anyone see The Secret Life of Pets? Yeah, that's Zeus on your couch. And then you come home and he like jumps down and goes to his bed, right? That's not because he knows he's not allowed on the couch. That's just because then something negative happens to him every time he's on the couch and you're in the room. It's you. You're the common denominator. Your animal is afraid to do things in front of you. My take is couches are really comfortable. I like sitting on the couch. I don't particularly like laying on the floor unless my back is really hurting. And dogs' lives are so short. Please just let them be comfortable. It's not doing anything to your relationship. Unless it is. That's a different conversation. But just generally, like, if you have a good relationship with your dog and everything's fine, and they're not growling at you and biting you when they're sitting on the couch and you're trying to sit on the couch next to them, it's okay to share your furniture. It's not sending any sort of weird subliminal message that your dog is picking up on, that somehow they're stronger and smarter and faster and wiser than you are and can all of a sudden become self-serving and feed themselves and open up the airtight containers that you store their food in and scoop their own poop and take themselves for a walk and dominate you and the world. It's not happening, you guys, literally. So, let them be comfortable. Let your dogs on the couch. Let them in your bed. I said that. I'm going to get so much flack for this. But just tell me in the comments. Do you sleep with your pets? Yes or no? If no, why not? Is it because you buy into this myth? Tell me. I'm dying to know. If you're not subscribed, if you're not following, please do. Thank you. I'll see you next week.